the stream is running. Hi everyone, I'm Tkinter3. We're going to code Mastermind again with a graphical interface again, but it's going to be different because it's going to be more graphical. Let's take a look at the previous one. Mastermind with the GUI. And let me show you this just because. Mastermind with the GUI. And here's what it looks like. We go A, B, C, D, and we go enter, and it's basically exactly like the console version, except instead of printing the hint, the key to the console with a print command, we change a label to have that content. A, E, F, I don't know. Still the A is the only one, and the others are not right. A, B, C, B. And it's one of the ones that was not correct before, so it's the D, the last one that's correct. And there's no E. And something is in the wrong place. A, C, C, B. Nope. So it must be the C? No. This one had two that were in the right place. A is in the right place. This one, that one. Oh, one of these was just in the wrong place. A B and a C. If A, B, C, B was almost right. A, E, C, B. So there's an E somewhere, A, C, E, B. Now there's two correct. Maybe it's AC that I have to do. How about AC, BB? AEB? I don't know. Now I have two in the right place. A, FEB? Still the same two in the right place. I don't know if I'll get this one. Why am I even solving it? DDB. So it was one of the ones in the middle? What is it? CBEB. I was totally wrong. Okay. Anyway, that's how that one plays. So instead of typing in a guess where each element is a lowercase letter from A through F, we're going to have something colorful. Yeah. So how about how will we do that? Should we have a bunch of maybe we'll have a bag of pegs at the bottom, and we'll just have one of each color, and then you click and drag. That sounds reasonable. Don't know if I'll want to have them animated as moving in. Could be something interesting. Maybe we'll do that. Just work with a canvas. Could be good. Let's aim for that. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this as a new version v2. There we go. Okay. We're going to have, instead of a frame, we're going to have a canvas. Okay. Canvas, canvas. This has to be capital C because it's the object. Canvas, canvas, canvas. Any other references to the frame? No. Canvas. That's a good enough start. Time for lunch. So we've got our canvas object. That's all we have. We're gonna have a status somewhere. Pack. Oh, grid this with the what's it. Let's put it in the parent. And then we'll just use pack to put it at the bottom. There. We're not gonna need these things. Not gonna have that. Instead, we are going to draw squares on this. How about we will have how much was 200 pixels? This much? 2 times 12. That's way too much. 200. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm measuring on my monitor now. 6. How about 100 pixels? That'd still be 1200. How about 80 pixels square for each one? And so we'd have square, 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 square. Someone in chat, Maurice says, "Good morning. Good morning to you." We are doing Mastermind again. This one is going to look nicer though, and play a bit slower. But that's okay. It will look nicer. That's the plan. Maybe we'll have some kind of keyboard shortcuts. I don't know. How about oh, I have an idea. Maurice says, "I am back. Yes, I remember you from a previous stream. Good to have you again." It's always nice having a live studio audience. So instead of a click and drag thing, we're going to just have four. We're just going to have our game board. It's important to be able to see all the previous guesses. And how about click a square and then click the actually no, we're just gonna have you click the color that you want to put into the next square. How about that? Yeah. How about that? Okay, so that means that all I want is enough space in the canvas, and then enough space for the hint pegs as well. bottom, I will also need the bag of colors. So we are going to delete this stuff. Guess fields, nope. Guess fields, I don't want any of this. Gonna leave that there. Those are good. Current, what's that used in? Oh, in which guess could be good. Something like this. Guess fields. Actually, a lot of that's going to have to change. I will design my canvas. Let's say Phil Sermon is also in chat. Hello again. Good to have you here. We'll have 50 by 50 pegs. And so that's 50 times 4 is 200. And then we want the hint pegs in a square. And they're going to be 25 pixels on a side. And so that's another 50. So 250 by 50 times 12, 600. 250 by 600. Can I make him a little bigger? I don't know. That's probably a little too small. How about 1080 divided by 12 is 90. Let's stick with 80, shall we? So 80 times 4 is 320. 400 by 80 times 12, 960. Okay. We will have I haven't written this yet, so there will be thinking and planning. I'll have it begin blank with the available colors at the bottom. Ooh, there has to be room for 6 of those. 400. That's fine, I guess. It's 6 colors, right? Yeah. Let me check. A through F, yes. 6 colors and 400 pixels. 66 and 2/3 of a pixel. So I need to have basically room for 5 for the guesses and room for 6 for the available bag. 300? Just make it smaller? I don't know. This is probably fine. How about this? Self dot. I'm going to make some, gonna draw some stuff on the canvas. Self dot bag, because you have a bag of pegs that you can work with, equals what colors are we going to have? How about red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple? How about that? Red, yellow, green, I forgot orange. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. This is almost the actual spectrum, except that goes red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet, which are distinct colors. I'm just going to call it purple. self.canvas dot, we're going to create a circle, rectangle. Isn't it create oval, actually? I think it's create oval. Yes. Yes, it is. It is create oval. That's what I'll do, because pegs are round. So, obviously, that is what I must do. Create oval. What's that going to look like? We'll have x be height is 960, and each one is 80 pixels. Wait, this doesn't account for this doesn't account for the row in the bag. 1080 divided by 13 is 83. I guess we can stick with 80 and just add another row, and that'll be 1040. Okay. So we'll have from 0 to 1040 minus 80 and 960. That's 0, x and y, 0, 960 to, let's add 80 and 1040. Fill equals red. Outline equals also red. Okay, and I think for now, at least, I'm just going to define these all as literals instead of looping through, because really I would have to give it all these values, and the only thing that's the same is the color. Don't know that that helps. So, and then let's go through and change these. We start at 0 to 80, and then 80, or no, it's not 80. They're not 80 large, are they? No. 1/6 of it's 80 for those. 67 pixels. So this is actually 960 plus 67. So that's 1027. That's annoying. And this is properly 0. This has to be 67 or 66. How about? And 132 and 198 and then 264 and then 264 and 66 is 330. 66 is 330. Yes. Hooray for mental math. And then I would be, if I added 66, I'd be short by 4. So let's say 334 here. Let's add 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. and 3 and 2 and 1. Okay. And this has to be 66 and 131 and 200, 267, 334 and 400. Okay, because that's the second x coordinate. 20 minutes and we've done nothing. So we'll do things. Is it 960, I think? No, it's 1027 minus 66. That was 960. Yeah. 960 to 1027. Okay. That's an easy part. Red, orange. Let's do this. Yellow, green, blue, and purple. And copy and paste and copy and paste and copy and paste. Great. Good. And we will be clicking on these. Actually, why don't we just bind the whole canvas and look for areas so you don't have to click the actual peg? I don't know if that's fantastic. Let's just go with actually clicking on the things for now, because our game of Simon had us clicking on parts of a canvas. So that's fine. Use our status as a label in the parent. Status.pack. Bind these things. Current, I don't know how much of these we need. Pattern. It has to pick a pattern. Roy GBP. Okay. We need 4 of those. Counted. I don't even remember what that is. This is for the thing. Doesn't it have? Oh, it does not have a guessing function. It's just handmade. Okay. What's bound to check? Oh, enter. Well, it says return because enter is the name of another event. You can bind a widget with an enter event, and when the mouse enters that widget, it will fire. So the enter key on the keyboard is return because both of those are used. So let's see now. This is going to have to do something different. This is wrong. It's not really what we want. But I think self.canvas.bind button 1 is going to be self.check. That'll have an event. How about for this one, we will simply make it instead of letting you type whatever guess you want and then hit enter to confirm, you're just going to click 4 things and then it will tell you. And you can't change your mind. Let's do that. Let's do that. So we have this. This seems okay for now. This is not really a thing anymore. I don't know if we need... Do we need self.current? we're going to need something to track what we have done. Let's see. I'm going to make another dictionary. IDs. You may remember this from the Mastermind, from the Simon game we made a couple days ago. This thing here. It's pretty cool. It actually worked eventually. Value key for key value in self.bag.items. There. So that'll just reverse that dictionary, and it's okay because each one is a unique integer, I know, and this is the IDs of all the clickable things in our bag of pegs. So this is the guess. We will have this only actually check for something after 4 things have been clicked. How about that? How about self.current? Let's make current be the number of pegs we've put in. So we're going to have to divide it by 4 to do things. Someone in chat. Clement Scow says, sweet, I got a live stream. You certainly have. And I am planning as I go, which is not really planning. That's what I'm doing. Let's see. Maybe today I will once again remember to run the program before I think it's done. Sometimes I don't do that. Self.current is 0. This is going to be something different. First, we will have this add the guess to some kind of list. Counter for the pattern. This is needed in counter for the guess. So the first thing it's going to do is light up the next object. Light up the next place in the board. Great. Clement asks, any word on how long the stream will be? I generally go for however long it takes, unless it seems like it's going to be ridiculously long. I think I've had 1 or 2 maybe that were maybe 20 minutes, pretty short, but we're almost half an hour in, and I've barely gotten anything done. So this may be one of those hour or 2 things, depending on what I feel like doing. So quite possibly a while. That's the short answer. How will we determine where to create a new oval? We'll have we have the width of the canvas in terms of how many the 4 pegs, not the little answer key after. And actually it's 80, we have 320. We're going to want to keep track of that. Think. Can I do that with a one-dimensional list? Maybe. let's have it, we're gonna need to have guesses somewhere. So how about a new list? I don't know. Guesses it dot append. And we have, is there an event associated with this? I think. Tag bind? No. Tag unbind? I don't want that. Oh, dot widget. Is that a thing? Will that work? There's only one reference to that. Let's see if that works. Oh no, it's the whole canvas. That's not really what I wanted. Find closest, is that really what we want? I don't think so. Handlers and tags, this is something I was looking at before for Simon. Might have to use something in there. Handles, tags, all current. And where's current? Oh, lots of stuff. Currently has focus. No, I don't want any of that. Here's what we'll do. Let's look at Simon. There's got to be something in here. Is it the index? No, here. Here's what we've got. Find with tag current. There. That should be it. Okay. That'll give us the ID. Very good. I probably saved this to something called ID. That makes perfect sense. So we have the ID now of the canvas child object. It's not a Tkinter widget, but it's a drawn object within one of these Tkinter widgets. So we need the ID, and we're going to append self.IDs. Actually, this can just be, should it be a string? Here's what we're going to do. If the length of self.guesses, the last one, is less than 4, we should close this thing. Self.guesses, the last one plus equals self.IDs ID. Okay. Else dot append self.IDs ID, etc. Okay. What did I just do here? So guesses is a list, and it's going to hold a bunch of strings. I like strings. They're very easy to work with in Python. Some languages, they're not. You got to keep track of end of file characters and all manner of bytes, and there's a lot of inefficient operations. But in Python, it's basically all taken care of behind the scenes so you can work with it without worrying that your program's complexity will explode, because that's bad. I will tell you a story called the Schlemiel the Painter algorithm. So this is a reasonably common, kind of old joke about whatever culture or type of person is unpopular. In America, this is blondes. In some parts of the world, it's Polish people. So whoever. Let's say Java programmers. I don't know. No, that's... They work with what they've got. But, so some city official wants a center line painted down a new road. So he puts an ad in the paper, and someone responds, it's Schlemiel. This is a Hebrew or Yiddish or something name. I don't really know the origin of why this character is called that. Anyway, so Schlemiel responds, and he gets the job. And on the first day, he paints like 20 miles of center line, and the boss is like, "This is great. We will have this road finished in no time." And then the next day, Schlemiel comes back and paints 18 miles of road. The city manager says, "Well, that's not quite as much as yesterday, but maybe he's a little tired, right?" And then the next day, he paints 16. And the one after that, 14. The one after that, 12. And the city manager says it's really slowing down now. But, I mean, it's the weekend, so maybe after the weekend it'll be better. No! Monday comes, and he's painting 10 miles of road a day, and the city manager says, What's going on, Schlemiel? Why are you slowing down so much? And Schlemiel says, "Well, I'm going as fast as I can, but every day I paint more, and the bucket of paint gets farther away." Ha ha ha, because he doesn't bring the bucket with him, he leaves it at the start, so he has to dip the paintbrush in the bucket and go all the way. In some languages, working with strings is exactly like this. If you are building a string and you have, okay, this is my string and I'm going to loop through something, and with each iteration I'm going to add something to the string, the compiler or whatever says, okay, we have this string, and on the first iteration of the loop we want to add something. Okay, strings are immutable in many languages, so we're going to get the string and we're going to throw it away and use it to build an entirely new one with some extra characters on the end that you wanted to add. And then we're going to go to the next iteration of the loop, and we're going to throw the whole thing away, and we're going to build it all over again with some more characters. So by the 100th or the 1000th or whatever iteration, it's very slow because it has to build a whole new string each time. Some languages like Java, for example, have various classes and tools to help deal with this. Like, I think, is it String Builder or something? It's some fancy object that lets you do that more quickly. To repeatedly add on to a string without having to throw everything away and build a new one. Python used to be susceptible to this problem, but no longer is, because they fixed it. Now you don't have to worry about it. It's fine. So, it rained today, but now it's 75 degrees. It's pretty warm. I don't know. I live in California. It's a desert. Eagle96 is in chat. Good morning. Hello. And Clement says String Builder, and Phil says yes, it is String Builder. I haven't worked with Java in a long time, and I don't think we ever actually got to String Builder. We just kind of heard about it, and that was in class. And then I found Python. Eventually had a class in that. It was much better. I had one of my Java classes. We had a final project for the class that was, I think, the last month of the course. We were working on that in teams, groups of 3 or 4 or something, and ton of work. It was a media library, so we had objects for books, movies, etc., with some class attributes, not class, instance attributes, and inheritance, that sort of thing. Big project. Several months later, I was like, I said, I'm going to do that in Python. I'm going to try to just make that again. A couple hours. Finish the whole thing. So, yeah. Anyway, this is going to be a list of strings. And so here, we're going to check the last element of this list. And if the length is less than 4, we are going to just add on to it. We're going to say this last element is, this is the, what's it called? Augmented addition? Something? Augmented assignment. There we go. Equals, it's equivalent to self.guesses minus 1 equals self.guesses minus 1 plus this. So we're going to just add the latest ID onto the, not the latest ID, the latest color, because we looked it up, onto that string. And if it isn't less than 4, then we are going to append a new list? No. We're going to append this character as the start of a new string. There we go. Very good. With type current, guess equals, let's do that here. Guess equals self.id's ID. We can replace that. Remove this. v2. Okay, just want to make sure I don't save over the old working version. We're going to make a counter out of that guess. Oh, no, this is only if we are done with this one. Otherwise, we don't want to. Let's see. This is something we only want to do if we are done with it. No. For more than 4, we want the previous one. So this isn't actually the guess that we're thinking of here. Oh yes, the guess is the whole string in the previous version, and now it's just the latest dealie. So we want to say that our guess count is self.guesses. Let's do the following. That's a handy trick. So if we're not done with the current guess, just add it on and stop there for now. We'll add other stuff. But if it is equal to 4 or greater, but it won't ever be greater. Technically I could have said if this equal, but you know, at some point it's going to be more than 4 somehow. It's going to go from 3 straight to 5. I don't know how. It seems impossible. But I'm going to assume that it is possible and say less than instead. This is called defensive programming. That, in theory, if this condition were to happen, my program would crash. But it's impossible for that to happen, because technically, with the way this works, it's never going to be an issue. It's going to be an issue. Just FYI. Like in Simon, when we had those two characters not there, it was doing this and this condition were mutually exclusive, but within this thing, if this block was executed, we changed this. So then this would be something different. And then without this, with just a regular if, it would then check that. And they were no longer mutually exclusive. So we added EL to make certain, yes, it's mutually exclusive, because you never know. You never know. We're going to append the guess as a new one. So we make a counter out of the completed one, and then we append the new one. This can probably be afterward, but close exact, close minus exact. Okay, here's some. I'm going to move this to the bottom of that. Hint. So this is forming the hint, and there's also something we want to do afterward. But hint fields, we don't have that anymore. Okay. Hint field is not a thing in this program at this point. So I've been awake for less than 12 hours and I'm tired. I don't get it. Self.hint fields, self.current.config. Okay, this is where we are creating the hint. This is we're not gonna have to do exactly this because it doesn't work this way anymore, but the goal that this is accomplishing of producing the hint with the key for the user is something that would have to be in this block, so we'll move that. Current, do we need this? Does this do anything at the moment? I don't think so. But this is actually all stuff that will happen there. Okay. There. Actually, that's not really necessary. Okay. So instead of an if-else, I have if, and then else means only do it if this is not truthy. But I'm just gonna return. So then it's just gonna stop there anyway. So this is basically, if we're not done with the guess, just kind of keep building it and then stop here. But if we are done with the guess, then do stuff. Cool. This looks good. Self.guesses. Guess count is a thing. Counted. Right. Just want to make sure I have everything. That's the pattern. What's the guess? This has to be self.guesses hang on. If it's less than 4, add it on. If it's equal to 4 already, oh no. This is slightly backwards. we are going to check something. If it's less than 3. So if it's at 2, we will add it on. If it's at 0, 1, or 2, we will add it on. Otherwise, if it's at 3, then we will add the 4th one. I'm going to do this over here. Put that over there. Okay. So we're going to add our most recent character onto the guess string. Let's actually start this with something in there. Okay, so on our first try, the first time we click something, it'll be like, okay, we're gonna look up what we clicked on, and we're gonna find the letter associated with that integer ID, and then we're going to add it on. And if we don't have 3 yet, less than 4? No, I moved it out, so now it's 4 again. If we don't have 4 yet, we're done. But if we have hit 4, then we want to do this. I need to check something else. Here's what I'll do. Where's that append? Where'd it go? There. Okay. All right. Moving some things around. That's okay. So it's going to be adding a string of whatever we clicked onto the top guess of the pile. If we do that and we haven't hit 4 yet for the most recent one, it's going to say, okay, we're done. If we have hit 4, we're going to look at that guess and check it, etc. And then we're going to add an empty string to that list of guesses, and then we can add on to that. Wonderful. This is something I'll have to change, but the latest guess, close, exact, self.guesses -1. That's the latest, the thing that we're checking. This, do that. Okay, the hint that we have assembled. The hint field has to get that, and we disable the guess field. That's not going to be a thing. We don't do that. Do I do anything with this? Not actually. If this is actually simpler than the other one, I will laugh at myself. Hint. We have to make a hint. How do we do that? We're going to draw more ovals on the board. So where do we find those? If we are on guess 0, let's do this at the end, shall we? So at this point, at this exact point in the script, we have at least one element in the list of guesses, and the last element in the list of guesses is a full guess that we must check. Okay. And so that's our offset for the canvas. When we're checking guess 0, we want to start our answer key pegs 0 away from the top, and so we can pretty easily do that. Each one is what, 80? Yes, 66 or 67 for the 67 times 6 for the bag of pegs, and 80 times 4 for each row of guesses, and then 4 40 by 40 things in a square. Fantastic. That's what we'll do. Speaking of guesses, my current guess for how long this will take is half an hour, 45 minutes more? I don't know. Trying to estimate here. Okay. This is how many of these, this is how many of those. How about we will use zip. Is it black ones or white ones that are exact and almost? Mastermind. Small holes, black, etc. A colored or black key peg is placed for each code peg from the guess which is correct in both color and position, and white is an almost. Okay, so black is the exact one. Okay. Exact times. What did I just do here? Instead of creating a string of some number of exclamation marks and then some number of question marks, I'm using list multiplication. If you multiply a list by an integer, or an integer by a list, you will get the integer number of, you will get the list repeated that integer number of times. Let's show with an example. Usually we put the list first. That's what we've got. But keep in mind, this is the same reference. That's identity, not equality, the same pointer to that object. Now, if we do this, A0 is A1, we will get true. But how about 1 is 1? It's also true. This is an implementation detail. We have someone in chat. Another person, Tommy Esho 123. Remember me, Tiger Hockey 3? Yes, I do. How are you doing? We're looking at multiplying lists. I generally don't like to use this method, but sometimes it's a little more concise. But if you're not careful, you can run into massive problems, because this one is the identity operator, meaning that both of those operands point to the same object in memory. Now in Python, it is not guaranteed that this will be true, but in the kind of official version of Python, the one from python.org, their particular implementation, which is very good and is the standard that you should use, quite honestly, numbers up to like 255 or something are interned, which means there's only one object for each of those. So there's only one. There can be many references to the number 1, but all those ones are the same object. Now let's look at a list. Empty list is empty list. Nope. We created 2 different list literals. Now, e equals my list. That's not what we want. Let's just do this. Times 3. What's b? We get 3 empty lists, because with this we have our list with the enclosing brackets. Yes, and inside that we have the integer 1, and inside this we have a list literal instead, an empty list. And we're going to do b0 is b1, true, just like this one, but lists are mutable objects. Yeah, integers, there's actually no way to change them because they are immutable. There's no I++ or ++i. I think I++ is a syntax error if you don't have anything else with it, but ++i is fine because it's positive I. It doesn't actually increment it. Pre or post increment operator. It doesn't do that. Some languages have that, many languages do, not this one. So if you want a new integer, x equals 3. If I want to increase this, I do x equals 4. And then it threw away that reference to the number 3 and created a whole new integer of 4. But lists, L equals 3 and 6. We can increment these by doing L equals, or we can add something to this by going 3, 6, 9. That's a 5. But we don't have to. We can go back to this and we can do L.append 9. And now it's the same list. This one and this one are different lists. But when we do this and then append, we still have the same pointer. The list has just expanded in size. It's the same list, we've just added something to it. So when we go b0.append a 3, here's b, here's the first 0th element. We're going to append a 3. What are we going to get when we look at b? 3 in all of them, because all of those are pointers to the same list. So be very careful when you are multiplying lists, because they multiply, you get multiple references, not multiple deep copies. So just be careful. And you can get something like this with different lists, with c equals this for nothing in range 3. C C0 dot append 3 and see only the first one is 3. There you go. So keep that in mind. But strings are immutable. So, and I'm not changing them anyway. This could actually be a tuple, and it wouldn't matter. Because this is just, yeah, doesn't matter. But lists are pretty easy to work with. Tuples are immutable, which means they are hashable. You can have them as elements in a set or keys in a dictionary. And they are slightly faster to process than lists. But of course, lists you can mutate if you want, which can be handy all the time. So we are going to make a list like that. And coordinates, these are going to be key coordinates. And this is going to be a tuple of coordinates for where we want these pegs to appear. So we have 400, we're going to start at 320, and we're going to get 40 and 40. So we have our canvas, and the pegs go to 320, and then 320, and 360, and 400. And that's going to be where our key pegs are. So that's all good. Fantastic. Very nice. Key coordinates. Good progress. We've got a square bracket. I'm going to make quadruplets of integers for coordinates, which is where we will want these pegs placed. And I'm just going to tell you now, I'm going to make 4 of them, because we may have up to 4 hints. But afterwards, I'm going to zip this hint and this key coordinates. And the way zip works is it takes the first object of all the iterables you pass it and gives you all of those first objects together. It if one iterable is longer than another, those extra elements are not used. And that's exactly what we want to do, because if we only have between 0 and 3 inclusive hints, then we don't want to use the 4th place. It doesn't matter. So let's assemble that. This is going to be fun. Should I make a literal? Possibly a literal? Yeah. This, and that, and that, and that. So what have we got? We've got, we want the x coordinate first, and that's going to start with 320. That's always 320. 320 something, 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 right? Yeah. 320, and the y is the length of guesses minus 1. Yeah. And we're going to multiply this by 80. So when we're at our first guess, this has to be self.guesses. When we've had one guess so far, we're going to subtract 1 from that and get 0. and we're going to multiply that by 80. And that's going to be the offset of this particular hint peg for the y-axis. The x's are going to be the same for each row, but as they are rows, subsequent ones move down, and so we will have to change the y coordinates. And that's 80 times this. And then, how about this? Offset equals this. Offset times 80. And then 360 320 by something times 80, and then 360 no, this is the other, oh yes, we're going to need 4 of these. 320 to 360, and then 360 to 400, 400 and something, and then again 320 and 360, 360, 400, 360, and 360, and the y, and 400. Okay. Offset times 80. And then offset plus 1 times 80. Times 80 plus 80. No, plus 40. There we go. And here, for the next one, we want the same thing because they're in the same row. And for the next row, so we have our board, and then we'll have guess, 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 and that'll be a row of guesses. And then after that, we're going to have a little square with 4 individual pegs in there. Wonderful. Clement asks, is this Python 2 or 3? It is Python 3, specifically Python 3.4.2. 3.5 was released last year, and I didn't upgrade because it adds some cool things. Extended argument unpacking syntax is pretty good. 3.6 will be out in a couple months, this December. And that adds also, it isn't just more unpacking that adds, there's a whole bunch of things, but things that looked like I would care about them and use them. The thing that I think I will care about and use in 3.6 is format string literals. You can make the same way you make raw strings by putting the character R before you start a string. You can put the letter F before a string, and that will make it a formatting string literal. So you can do something like this. F, my name is name. And then you could just print this, for example. And when you did that, it would see this is a formatting string literal, and it would see these curly braces, and it would look up a variable called name, and it would put it in there. String.format, yeah, is not going away, and interpolation is also not going away. So don't worry. But there's a cool new way to do things. It's pretty nice. I always use Python 3, not always. I use Python 2 when I want to check how something works in Python 2, but as far as actually doing stuff, writing programs that I want for themselves, not just academic curiosity, Python 3, because there's a reason it exists, and that reason is that I don't know if I want to call them mistakes, but yes, they are. In Python 2, a lot of them are corrected in Python 3, like print being a function in Python 3 rather than a statement. Print doesn't control the flow of the program, so it didn't make sense to be a statement, and having it be a function with argument unpacking and optional arguments makes it much more useful. And since function, you can use it in functional programming if you want to do that. And that's just one of the many improvements. Filter and map being lazy objects instead of automatically producing lists, so on and so forth. A bunch of stuff. Making these. This is the same row, so I want these the same and these the same. And now for the next row, it's offset times 80 plus 40. And then offset times 80 plus 80. Neat. Got extra spaces I didn't want. There we go. Alright, and then I will zip through these. Through hint and key coordinates. For H and T coord in zip, hint key coordinates. I lost my train of thought with explaining other stuff, but I'll get it. I'll get it back. This isn't really anything close to what we want to do. This is checking for a win. That's still valid, I think. This is going to have to change. If len of self.guesses is more than 11, then you lose, blah, blah, blah. Pattern is a list. Okay. Let's see. This is going to have to change. This is if we win. This is if we lose. And this is if we continue. So if we win, say you win. And self.canvas.unbind this. Right, is that how it goes? Unbind one, yeah, that works. Self.canvas.unbind. And we also want to do that if we have lost. And otherwise, we keep going. Is there anything to do if we need to keep going? Other than, I think it's just this. Because we don't have guest fields anymore. How about the status? You win, you lose, nothing. Where else am I working with that? Begin. I don't know that that's useful. Let's just take that out. We know what to do, and then we don't need to blank that. So it'll either say you win or out of guesses when you win or you've gotten through all 12. Unbind, and this one we just want to append a new string to work with. And then do it all again. Okay, let's do this bit of putting the key in there. Did I create a rectangle for the canvas? I don't think I did. I see. We will do that as well. So at this point, we haven't created any new rectangles anywhere. We're gonna want to do that. For the hint and the coordinate in zip this, we are going to, and these are colors, we are going to create oval. I think this can this be just a tuple? I don't remember. Let's try that out. Import Tkinter as tk. Root equals tk.tk. C equals tk.canvas in the root. C.pack. Very good. B equals C dot create oval 20 20 40 40. Okay. B2 equals C dot create oval 20 20. No, let's go 50 50 and 70 70. So I'm sending it a tuple instead. Does it handle that? It does. Beautiful. Beautiful. Destroy. Kaboom. Okay. So you can either send it the first 4 arguments being the bounding box for this this child object, or you can send it the first argument being a tuple with all 4 coordinates for the bounding box. We will do that. Coord fill equals HNT, outline equals HNT. Gotta spell it right, or it doesn't work. I have seen many errors in my code and other people's code where they made a typo and the program didn't work, or my program didn't work. That's what happens. Some people use an IDE for this. Notepad++ is not an IDE, it is an editor. It does have like syntax highlighting, etc., and some good things for white space and tabs, but it's not checking any variable names or anything. Like if I imported date time in this, not using it, IDEs may warn you, you have an unused import. Maybe you want to take that out, or maybe implement the feature that was going to use that import. Could be good if you do that. But Notepad++, it's fast, it works, it's small, not bloated. Java has some delightful IDEs, especially for using Android, that are hundreds of megs, a gig, 2 gigs, I don't know, gigantic. Anyway, notice how we are not saving these objects anywhere. We're not assigning them to a variable name, not creating them in a list, because we're not going to access them anymore. I don't care. We're going to make one of these. Chord, fill outline, okay. And then we need to make that's the little hint pegs. Let's do this one first, actually. So first we are going to put the peg that we moved into that spot. And then we will do the hint thing if necessary. This needs to go into... No. We need this before. Huh. We're gonna do some stuff beforehand, because this is only when we have finished a row. And we want to put the next peg in there, regardless of whether we've actually finished a row yet. So, we have our offset, and that's our Y offset. For this we will also need an X offset. Shouldn't be too hard. We call it X equals self.guesses -1. Okay. This doesn't need parentheses. So this offset is actually the Y offset. I use it a lot. I'm just gonna have it. I should do that. I really should. Is there any more? No, that's the only one. Y offset and X offset. So the Y offset is which row we're on, and so that'll need to be self.guesses. That's the list of all the strings of guesses that we have. And the X offset is length of the current guess. So we have already added it. We're going to do -1 as well. But not over there. Over here. Because for the first one, we want to start with an offset of 0. Self.canvas.create oval. Needs to be 0 plus 80 times the X offset times 80. Okay. And the Y coordinate, and this is the it's top left corner X and Y, and then bottom right corner X and Y. So at the top left, we have just whatever the x offset times 80 is, because it'll start at 0. This will always be at least 1, because we have already added something to it. So we subtract 1 and have an initial offset of 0. So we'll start with 0 times 80, 1, etc. 0, 1, 2, and 3. And the y offset is also times 80. And then x offset times 80. Are these always times 80? They are. Okay. If I'm going to multiply by 80 every time, doesn't really need to be there, does it? Might as well do as many calculations beforehand as I can. Very good. So now it's a y offset in pixels rather than rows or columns. Good. Y offset, x offset as well. X, y, x plus 80, and y offset plus 80. Fill, the fill. Colors? Something? Where, how do we know what colors we have? Like this. Colors equals something very similar to this, honestly. And this will instead be red. And orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. Very good. Don't need the extra Alright. Does this even need all that space? Not really. Taking up all that real estate. Should I give it 2 lines? I'll give it 2 lines. I'm stern, but fair. Alright. Let's actually move that over here. That's fine. Okay, now we have colors. And the guess is that letter for a color. Fill equals self.colors guess. Outline equals self.colors guess. Alright. And then we create that. Is this done? I don't know if it's done. But I can pretty much guarantee that after an hour and a half, I'm going to run it and something's going to explode at me. But let's read through it. It's always good to be able to read through code that you just wrote starting an hour and a half ago. A year and a half. That's no one can do that. No one. Unless you have comments, which I don't. But that's because if I'm really interested, I can always watch the video. And this is not really that long in the first place. We save our parent, create a canvas that we will destroy, draw the board. Destroy the canvas. Create a new one with that width and height. Pack it. We create a bag, which is a dictionary for the first letter of the color and the various locations, and this is at the bottom of the screen. So we have 0, 66, 131, 200. For you it would be this way, left to right. 0, 66, 131, 200, 267, 334. And the bottom right x coordinate is 66 pixels afterward. So we just get this over here, put that over there. 131, 161. That's not right. Good thing we're checking. 200, 267, 334. And this is 67 pixels, 66. And we want them all to have the top at 960 and the bottom at 1027. We want all these colors, red, red, orange, orange, yellow, green, green, blue, blue, purple, purple. Okay. And then we have a dictionary for the colors. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. And then we have the IDs of everything in the bag. I'm going to actually put that beforehand over here. IDs, colors. Oh, no, I have an idea. Or do I? Hang on. Yeah, no, I was gonna loop through self.colors to make the bag. But this stuff, the coordinates, wouldn't actually save any space. So that's okay. I mean, this could be, you know, self.colors R. We could access that, but that's actually much longer and less clear than the word red. So we'll just do that. Let's see. Our colors, we have self.guesses, which is a list, and we start it with an empty string. This is not actually necessary. If you want to configure it to something empty, you do need to say text equals an empty string, but an empty label is the default. So don't have to put it there because we're creating it here. We have our status and we pack it in. We pack the canvas, that's good. We bind the left mouse button to self.check, which we have over here. We bind lowercase and uppercase, Control N, to draw board. We're just going to take care of this stuff. And we're going to make a pattern for yes, we're going to do this 4 times, and so we will have 4 random characters in a list. We're going to make a counter out of that, and then we wait for the player to do stuff. And here's where the magic happens in check. we're going to get that child object within the canvas that was just clicked on. We're going to save its ID, and we're going to look up the appropriate letter with self.ids, because that's this dictionary reversed, transposed, I guess. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's backwards now at that point. Instead of like R, 0, O, 1, etc., it's 0, R, 1, O, and so on. So we have that guess for a letter representing the color, and then we're going to add this guess onto the last guess in the list, the last string that we have in this from this thing. And then we're going to calculate the x and y offset. We're going to calculate the x offset first. Make sure this is v2. I'm going to hit save. Should have done that an hour and a half ago. X offset, y offset. This can actually just be this minus 80. No, it can't. What am I doing? This minus 1 times 80. It's this times 80 minus 80. Doesn't matter. The x is for this particular one going across, and the y offset is for going down. And then we will create an oval with this x and y offset, and then that x and y offset plus 80 pixels for the bottom right corner, with the proper fill and outline, because we have a dictionary of the colors that we're going to look up. If the length of the most recent string in the list of guesses is less than 4, then we're done. But if it's not, it means it's probably equal to 4, I would hope. And we continue on, and we make a counter out of this, and we do the same calculations that we had before. That should all be the same. Haven't messed with it. Pattern is still pattern, and the guess that we have, instead of being our text widget.get, is just going to be self.guesses, list of guesses, and the most recent one, which now has 4 elements in that string. We remove the exact ones, and then we create, instead of a string of exclamation marks and question marks, we create a list, and this is a list multiplication, and so we are going to get exact quantity of the string black and close quantity of the string white, and we're going to add those two lists together. That's just list concatenation. A list of 1, 2, 3 plus a list of 4, 5, 6 is one single list, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, Relax Gaming is here. Hi, haven't seen you in a while. Good to have you. We're looking through our code for Mastermind that we're making more graphical and more interfacey. So I finished the first run through of writing it, and now I'm just going through it and making sure everything is makes sense in some way. And then we will actually run it and see whether it makes sense to the interpreter, which is kind of what counts, mostly. Both count, I should say. Has to be easy to read for you, and it has to actually run. Because either one of those being false will result in lots of work. Relax Gaming asks, do you know Smite? In event and all gods is free. I have actually not played Smite before. Looks pretty cool. I mostly play LoL and sometimes Dota 2 now and again. But Smite is one of those that's not first person, like a third person action adventure perspective. So you can instead of a nice overhead view with like clicking on a map, you're using movement controls to like move your character forwards and backwards, etc. instead of just path to here sort of thing. There's actually a few new MOBAs recently that recently came out. Paladins, I think, and something else that I don't remember. But it's very popular genre nowadays, so now there's like half a dozen of these games, plus, you know, Overwatch, which came out a few months ago. But Paladins and Paragon, I think, is the name. But yeah, Smite is cool. I'll take your word for it. I haven't tried it out, but seems like a cool concept. We have our list, and then we're going to make a set of coordinates for the answer hints. And so from 320 to 360, and then 360 to 400, and then the next row is 320 to 360, 360 to 400, and we have y offset and y offset plus 40, and the same row is the same thing, y offset plus 40, and then for the next row we increase everything by 40, y offset plus 40 and y offset plus 80, and the same thing for the next one in the row. And then we're going to zip this and this together. And so if this is shorter than this, if it has somewhere between 0 and 3 elements, then it will only get as many of these as it needs. So if there are 2 components to the hint, then it will only get the first 2. I should mention, if you want your if you want to use something like zip, but you want to include extra ones, if one of your iterables is longer and you want to include those elements instead of just throwing them away, I shouldn't say throw them away, they aren't deleted or anything, they just aren't yielded to you. There's itertools.zip_longest, and you can give it a fill value if you want. I think there's a default of none. So once you get to an index where one iterable has stuff but the other does not, it will give you some default value for the empty one. That's just something to know. So we're going to go through those for the hint and coordinate in zip hints and coordinates. We're going to create an oval with this tuple of coordinates as a coordinate, and the fill and outline are equal to this hint color. This is actually a color, isn't it? And self, I'm not overwriting anything, good. Colors, we're gonna zip colors. This is gonna be color. Am I overwriting anything? No, I am not. Okay. If the exact variable is 4, meaning the number of ones that are exactly right is 4, we're going to say you win and unbind the button. If it's not, but like if we haven't won, but we are out of guesses, then that means we lost. And then we will unbind the canvas also. But if we haven't won or lost yet, we're just going to say, okay, add the next string on, and let's keep going. Okay. Relax Gaming says, Smite is cool. Please download and stream. Smite. It's maybe I'll try it out. If it's free, that's why not? Assuming my computer can run it. Sometimes my PC has issues. It's kind of old. It's from 2009 with a few upgrades here and there. I upgraded the RAM earlier this year. Replaced the video card in 2013. Had to replace the video card because I had shipped it halfway across the country, and then the video card was not happy about that. If you ship your computer and you have like an actual video card, remove it, because they can be heavy, and as you move the computer around, it can kind of shift and flex, and then the contacts are not good. And yeah, I upgraded the RAM from 4 to 8 gig, which was incredibly amazing. Instead of running out of RAM literally all the time, almost every day, now I can run like 2 games at the same time. If I'm running through stuff in Star Trek, takes me 2 or 3 hours to just click on all the stuff, and then I think, oh, in a few minutes the daily reset for Rift is gonna roll over. Let me go and collect some daily stuff for that before that timer hits. Then I can just open that right up and run 2 games at the same time. And I can do this while, say, InDesign is open. An Adobe product that, like all Adobe products, takes a bunch of RAM. And I can have those all open, and it's quite marvelous. But I was gonna have 16 gig. I bought 16. The motherboard can handle 16. Doesn't want to do 16. Every module is good. Every slot is good. But if you fill each slot with a module, it doesn't boot. The motherboard manufacturer, I called their technical support thing. They said it's the CPU manufacturer's fault. And then I called the CPU manufacturer, and they said it's the motherboard manufacturer's fault. So, 8 gigs still boots though. So that's what I do. It messed with the sleep capability. Now, when I wake it from sleep, instead of just waking from sleep, it doesn't work. It either resets by itself, or I have to hit the reset button, or it doesn't boot. And then it, goes through the whole BIOS loading thing, etc. And then it restores my Windows session, because it's the hybrid sleep with Hibernate. So at least I get that. But I never know what'll happen. Let's do the following. Let's run this thing. Invalid syntax. Who is surprised? I am not surprised. Somewhere in the colors, I forgot this. Wonderful. Let's try it again. Alright, it's a little tall. Doesn't fit in my, I'll put it over. I'll tell you what. It's looking good so far. I've got, let me scroll, see? There's things right there. But it's way too big. If I had one of my monitors in portrait mode, like this, instead of like that, I'm gonna do that. Then it would work. Maybe it would make more sense to have this be sideways. Oh god, I don't want to make it sideways. I can either make some numbers slightly smaller, or I can transpose everything. Oh dear. Maybe that would just make more sense. Let's do that. Actually, what I should do is just try it out. Let's try it. Can't really see what's going on, but I'm gonna click red. Oh, put a red thing there. Now I'm gonna click yellow. Actually, how about orange? And then yellow, and then green. And I have two that are almost in the right place. Holy shamoly, does it actually work? Does this actually work? So I have two that are close. Which two? I don't know. How about red, orange, blue, purple? Now I have one in the correct place and one correct place in color and one that's close. So I'm going to assume one of these is correct and one of these is still kind of wrong-ish. How about I'll flip these and then do that. Now I have two correct. So one of these is correct and one of those is correct. And yes, I am trying to solve it so I can make sure it works when you solve the thing. Looking good so far. I mean, I'm gonna murder it and it's gonna fall down and be sideways, but I want the things to be this big. I think that looks good and proper. That's a good size. Let's do orange, yellow, blue, purple. Ooh, no. So that red one was correct. And yellow doesn't have a place there. Let's do green, red, blue, purple. Okay, and there's white. So here's a correct one, and here's something in the wrong place. And one of these is correct. Let's do red, red, green, purple. Which one though? One of them changed from close to correct. Maybe this green had to be over there, and that, I don't know. Green, red, green, purple. Green, purple. Close. Purple, red, green, purple. Aha! What does it say at the bottom? It says you win at the bottom. Let's, I can barely see it. I can just do this. Go there. You win! So there we go. That's neat. That is very neat. I had one error, a syntax error. That was it. Missed a colon in between the... Must have deleted it accidentally. That's pretty fantastic. That's neato. Now let's break it and make it sideways. Actually, let's see if the new game works. Still has you win. Drawboard, etc. Let's destroy the status thing. It has you win at the top. I don't want that. That's wrong, because it destroyed the canvas, but not the status thing. Dk dot label in the parent, and we will destroy that as well. Okay. Very good. Let's test just that change, huh? Click, 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 click. Okay. And it says, out of guesses, the correct answer is RROB, which is red, red, orange, blue. And that's the thing over there. Now let's hit, with caps lock on, Control N, and we're good. Didn't put it at the top. Perfect. Quite perfect. Okay, I like that. I would call that a bug, and not a typo. Something algorithmically that I didn't think of doing, but is obvious in retrospect, because I never got rid of it, but I got rid of the other thing and then repacked it. So there you go. Now that it's working perfectly, let's make it sideways. So 066. We want 1027 and 400. And we want 0 on the left, and the bottom of this 0. Oh, this actually has a lot more room now. This can be 80. That's easier. Now we have a lot more room at the bottom. Or no, it's supposed to be on the right. No, not at the bottom. All the way on the right of the thing. Okay. Do I want to do this? Move everything around? I don't know. Tell you what. Let's save it as v3. Because, yeah. Okay. v3. So we want to start at 0. And this is the bag of things. We want it, instead of at the bottom, it should be all the way on the right. So that's 1027. 0, whatever, is going to be the y coordinates instead. These are going to change. So we'll just flip x and y. Do we just flip x and y? Is that it? Maybe? let's that seems like a thing, because really we just want to flip x and y is technically what we're doing. And this seems like it. So we'll turn these around. Okay. So now they all start all the way on the right at 960 and end at 1027. And the first one has its top left corner at 0 to 66, and then 66 to 131. Okay. Switch around, blah blah blah. This stuff is going to be different. The x offset, is that just y and x instead of x and y? The number of total guesses, instead of being the y offset, is now going to be the x offset. No, this. X. Oh, I had caps lock still on. There we go. I'm like, why is I wasn't holding shift? I had pressed caps lock so that Control N would be a capital N. Just testing that. I could have held shift as well, but whatever. That's a handy tip, by the way, if you want your program to have different behavior for control and a letter versus control shift and a letter or character or whatever. You just bind it to that, like control lowercase n is just control n. But if you want control shift n to be something different, like Chrome, for example, control n is a new window, control shift n is a new incognito window. So that's slightly different behavior for a similar shortcut, if you want to do that. X and Y. This can't possibly be so easy. This is going to change, isn't it? Yes. Instead, we want to switch it around. Y offset, that's going to change. Instead, we want the X offset. So I'm going to have to switch these. And then relabel these to Y offset. Let me take this out of your way. Has that been, how in the way has that been? Not very much, because we weren't using this stuff. Didn't change that. So let's get that out of the way. This goes over here, and then this goes over there, and we do that a couple more times. With the comma, etc. And these are all X. Go upward. You can't see it in the stream, but when I just type X like this, it pops up a little, gives me a little widget of some kind for suggestions, and it says X offset. So now I can't move the cursor down because it's in this little field. That's why I have to move it to the left. And then it removes that little widget. Anyway, sometimes it's a handy thing. Is that literally it? Just invert things. Let's try it. I don't know. Do this, do that, etc. v2. I should probably run the right version. Should probably do that. Wow. These are, oh, the status thing, right, can't forget that. And it's giving me two white things. Should I make a background for this? Or maybe a different color for these things? It's a little hard to see the white on the light gray. Let's try it out. This, that. Still in the wrong place. Let's try yellow, green, red, orange. Still in the wrong place. Green, yellow, orange, red. Only one of them. Oh, green, yellow, red, orange. Orange, orange. So now I have another in the right place. This is definitely orange, I guess. Okay. But red has to be somewhere else. Green, red, orange, purple. Green, red, orange, orange. Still the same. Green, red, orange, purple. Green, red, orange, and purple. Oh. So the purple is right. I think the orange is right. How about the green, the yellow, red, orange, purple? Nope. The green was correct. Green, blue, orange, purple. Aha! It says, you win at the bottom. It was green, red, orange, purple. Because there you have it. It was. That was, that works. Okay. I could make him bigger, even. No. I think this is a good size. How would it look larger? For me, this is the following size. Let's see if I can get that accurately. It's about half-ish, a little more than half. Move this aside. And then it is trying to get it true to life. Okay. That last one is on top of the last blue, is that correct? No, this is bigger, I think. Oh, because I have that at a different size, never mind. But as far as screen size, it's trying to give you a to-scale sort of deal. It's a little less than half, probably more or less like this is the actual size. If you're viewing this on a 1920 by 1080 monitor, this is how big it is. Clement in chat says, good job, thank you. That was, let me expand this a bit. It was easier than expected. I assume you're saying good job on the writing it and not the doing the thing. But let's do Control N. That's good. And okay, the correct answer is yellow, orange, blue, red. Great. So that's what happens when you get one wrong. And then I can Control N. So that's a more graphical Mastermind program. And that's how easy it is, apparently, to turn it sideways. Did not actually break anything. So in running this code, let's see what, not what mistakes we made, what lessons we learned. The first lesson we learned was a small syntax error. I forgot missed the colon over there when I was rearranging things, or when I was deleting this stuff. I must have gone all the way to here and deleted that and didn't see that it was missing. It's fine. So one syntax error, typo, and then one logic error with creating the canvas and packing it, and then the status bar and packing it, and then making a new game, destroying the canvas, and then creating a new one, and then packing it, made the status go to the top, and then canvas was packed afterward. So we fix that, destroy both, and then recreate both. And one design error, I had it in the standard format of portrait mode. When phones are like that, unless you turn them sideways, phones are like that, just period, right? But most people's monitors are not. They are widescreen. So that's a design thing. We had one error of each type. We had a syntax error, typo. We had a logic error, and we had a design error. Lesson, not mistake. Key learnings, but I think that's pretty good. A syntax error, small logic error, and a design error, all very easily solved. I'm quite happy with that. That's very good. And people were watching in chat. It definitely happened. So let's look through this. We have our imports are in it. So here are things that are done once. Technically, I could put things like colors in the init, but it doesn't really matter. It's fine over here. We have this, we have our bag, blah, blah, blah. Our bindings. Here's the check method to check whether we've won. It continues and continues to put the key things in there. Start a new string, etc. 70 lines. How long was the other one? I don't recall. Somewhere in there? It is not. Let me open it up. Mastermind, GUI, edit with Notepad. It is, 54 lines. So that's definitely shorter. 70 minus 54 is 16. 54ths is 29.6% longer. But I think it looks a lot better. Yeah. A lot better. More graphical. Let's run it again. And you can see all the graphicalness. So, isn't that cool? Oh, nothing really? So it's something with these. I'm like, is it broken? And then I'm like, wait, no, I just guessed wrong. One of these was correct. This. Still the same correct one. One of those, this orange one has to be somewhere here. How about red, orange? Orange, yellow? No, 2 are correct. I'd say these 2 oranges. About, oh, and those are in the wrong place. How about yellow, orange, orange, red? I win! Hooray! It's a game. It's graphical. It works. With very few errors the first time. 1 crash, one compile time error, 1 runtime error, and 1 design error. That's I am frankly quite amazed that it worked so immediately. I'm gonna go ahead and pat myself on the back there. But anyway, thank you everyone so much for joining me for making Mastermind with pretty colors. And tomorrow is gonna be a game. Maybe I'll try Smite. I don't know. If I get a chance and if it works on my machine. And day after that, I really don't know what I'm gonna do. I might try to find some technology news again to talk about. There's always news of various sorts. I try to find things that are Clement says, thank you for streaming. And Phil says, sure, next time. I try to find things that I have some knowledge about, like the Note 7. I know something about batteries, so I can talk about that. But maybe a news thing, maybe a Python thing. What I really ought to do is more Django. That would certainly be something. I want the result, but actually doing it is, it seems very large in scope with our dozen files open in Notepad++ just for a very basic site. But yeah, so tomorrow game, day after that, I don't know, and I don't plan any further than that. So that's pretty much the plan, such as it is. I hope you liked seeing things actually run properly the first time. The less graphical version of this was more difficult. If any of you were around for that, it was, Phil says, yes, Django, finally. I guess I'll have to look into more Django stuff because it's that whole tutorial, all the streams that we did, that was the introduction to concepts, not a how-to for an actual usable site. So didn't make as big a step as I thought I had, but that's okay. I can make more steps. So I will maybe look into that, and I will move Django up on the priority list of technology streams to do, because I really do want to have my my programs on a little website. That'd be cool to be able to show things that I've written without having to say, do you have Python installed? No? Okay, then let me transfer this. You can download a zip file and find the exe in there. Just go to the website and it runs on the server. That'd be cool. So I think that'll be the stream for today. Thank you everyone so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.